It definitely hasn't been about 2 weeks since I reacted to anything from Genshin Impact music-wise, and it definitely hasn't been over a week since I've done anything Genshin entirely. That is all your imagination. I've been doing this totally on cue and on schedule as per usual, and I definitely didn't forget to get back to Genshin and just completely miss it in my list of stuff to do. Thank you, random commenter, tonight for reminding me that I haven't done anything Genshin in a while. Sorry, I legitimately kept like looking at my list and my eyes were skipping over the Genshin list every single time. I don't know why. No reason I'm not trying to do it. I'm trying to. I just legitimately kept forgetting. We're gonna listen to Her Wishes today. This is one that somebody said was a little bit different than the usual stuff I've been hearing recently. Let's get right to it, shall we? Let's go. Ooh. Immediately different, yeah. Just right off the bat, completely different sound. What a beautiful vocal line. That melody is gorgeous. Oh, that's... Doesn't make my fantasy heart tremble a little bit. This is gorgeous. Beautiful resolution. Ooh. There's an extra layer of voice in there. Ooh. That was an octave shift down a little. That's really cool. That it? I wish there was more of that. I was hoping that it was just a long pause. Man, all right, so that song is extra cool for a number of reasons. One of them is I actually could tell what key that one was in, just off the cuff. That was B flat minor. The only reason I know that is because I had B flat minor drilled into my brain, even though I had no clue what any other keys actually sounded like. That was one that I always just had shoved down my throat. I think it's just because it's a very dark chord, it's a very dark key, and a lot of music made with it is, as a result, very somber, very droning, funeral marchy, you know, very like slow, sadder, contemplative. They make you think a little bit. This song was a perfect example of that. The vocals were gorgeous, just beautiful voice. I mean, obviously it's just vocalizing, really simple, really clean, but it was so smooth. The melody was so good. It worked so well for her range. And also having that voice just an octave lower was a really neat decision overall. It added that much more weight to the end. I thought there was going to be more, like it might have another breath of air, because that's what that second part felt like. It felt like when all the instruments came in with the voices, it felt like a huge breath, you know. It felt like there was so much more space being taken up. It felt like it occupied more room, metaphorically. I loved how that sounded. That was definitely unique to other things from that same region. I believe it was Sumeru. That is really cool. It sucks when I have moments like this where like I find a loss of words for how beautiful I find something, because it usually means my breakdowns of them are lackluster and I can't think of much else to say. But I loved it. It just really sits with me. B flat minor is such a cool key, and it's in a lot of music. There's a lot of famous compositions that use it. I don't know any off the top of my head, of course, but I know that there's a bunch of them because I've heard it, and like I said, I had it drilled into my head. That was a beautiful, somber surprise from a region of this game that I've otherwise only heard very bright, inviting, adventurous music, stuff with a lot of jaunt and energy to it, like, oh, I'm going on an adventure. That's what I've felt like in every song that I've heard from this region until now. Now I'm seeing this different side of the world that's a little bit darker, a little bit more depressed, something that in this area of the game just isn't right and is weighing on everybody involved to a degree that it hurts their soul. You know, like that's what B flat minor does. That's the type of language that certain chords change, you know, like you'll have something emotionally bright and happy. It's probably in a major chord. Something that's minor is obviously going to sound more sad. You know, that's kind of the general gist of it. But there's a lot of flats in B flat minor. There's like 4 or 5 flats in the whole scale, and that's a majority of them. And as a result, that always makes things sound a little bit more heavy and weighed down. So, really beautiful song on that one. I didn't expect to have this much to say about it, but I'm glad I was able to at least say something about it, because otherwise I would just be like, man, that sounded cool, and not have much else to say. So, I mean, if you like this video and you like my little insight here, it's rare I have this much of an insight to the complexities behind a song, but hopefully you enjoyed it enough that you want to see more stuff from me. And if you do, of course, you know how to follow me and all that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!